so to the main course. I can't say that phrase without going red and feeling a bit. It was a well-used phrase of my husband's. He'd always say it before he... well, you know. Not that there was ever much of an hors d'oeuvre. And afterwards was just a roly-poly turnover. I once asked Frank about the possibility of an hors d'oeuvre, but he told me I talked too much and that everything that came out of my mouth was... well, he could say crap well enough. No beating about the bush with that. But when it came to the other, we could never bring ourselves to use the proper terminology. But then I don't really know what other couples say. Would you care to indulge in some sexual intercourse? Darling, no idea. But Frank would say, and so to the main course. And I couldn't even say that. I blame St. Catherine's. The sex education was so confusing, we were frightened to lie on the lawn in case we got pollinated. Of course, he's gone now, so I don't have to listen to that ridiculous phrase anymore. Though I suppose they have their uses. Euphemisms, I mean. But it's funny how the bedroom ones all relate to food, isn't it? Meat and 2 veg. Buttering the muffin. Playing hide the sausage. Eating in the downstairs restaurant. Actually, I didn't know what the last one meant. Until Betty asked me if I'd tried it. And when I said, well, it depends if you mean downstairs at John Lewis's or downstairs at British Home Stores. And she said, oh, I know what you mean. I mean, they talked about cream on your scones for ages before I had any idea what on earth she was going on about. I'm still not entirely sure to this day. Of course, I couldn't tell her what he really liked as part of his main course. There are some things you just can't discuss when you run into someone in the haberdashery department. And you can never be sure what's exactly normal. I only know I wasn't too keen on... well, how can I put it? You know when you want your boat to stay in its moorings. No, that doesn't explain it. The thing is, what he liked to do was this Rolf Harris thing. No, not Jake the Peg. The other one. Tiny kangaroo dive sport. Yes, he tied me down before he pointed his didgeridoo toward the Sydney Opera House. This is so embarrassing, but I really need to explain what he was like so you fully understand what happened and why, that I'm not to blame for it all. And I mean, as you can imagine, restaurants are a minefield for me. If someone says to me, what do you want for the main course? Or it brings it all back, you see. What else can they say? I mean, there isn't a euphemism for main course. I mean, main course is a euphemism for, well, you know. But it doesn't work the other way around. What would you like for intercourse? Meat and 2 veg? I suppose. Anyway. What I really hated was the way that he dug his fingernails into my shoulders while he shunted Thomas the Tank Engine in and out of the sidings. He could draw blood sometimes. I still got scars to this day. I said to him once, is that absolutely necessary? And what do you mean? He said, digging your fingernails into my shoulders like that, I said. Oh, that, he said, I thought you meant the main course for a minute. And then he told me I talked too much, and then he laughed. And for some reason I laughed too. But if I'm honest, I would have been more than happy to have skipped the main course and gone straight to an Ovaltine the night that he introduced a gag into the proceedings. Marcus has lovely hands, toned, And he keeps his fingernails very short. I go to his shop sometimes just to see his hands and to hear his laugh. A real laugh that spreads to your eyes. Of course, I didn't think I ever could. But then I met Betty in John Lewis's. "I've got something to tell you," she said. "I'm leaving Roger for someone else." Why did it never occur to me that you could leave your husband? Oh, well, I knew you could, of course. I mean, I do read Hello magazine. But I felt so well tied to Frank, if you'll pardon the pun. I thought I'd give him something to remember me by. So that night I said, "How about a little role reversal?" And after I'd, well, you know, tied him up and had gagged him, I thought about digging my fingernails into his shoulders. But then I remembered Betty, and I felt inspired. And I went into the kitchen, and I fetched what I needed. I did one finger at a time, slowly. And then I held the carving knife right above his chest. "Now for the main course," I said.